What up, G-Life? It's your boy, Shadow Pikachu with another video. Now, on my channel, my no word glorifying nor promoting gang violence or gang activity. Is for educational and awareness purposes only. Now, I want to thank everybody for helping me reach 8,000. You know, my channel ain't shit without you guys. I've already always say that. We're a team right here. I want to thank all my northern subscribers, you know, for their support. You know, it's a trip, you know, that I have a lot of, I met a lot of, well, not met, but interacted with so many female gente from up north and the support that I get. You know, hey, I do appreciate it, homie. And, you know, right here in my channel, I know I cover a lot mostly on Southern California due to the fact that I am from Southern California. You know, but I like to give, back to my supporters. When people were telling me, like, why only Sureños and stuff like that, it's, well, the homies shoot me all this stuff. And I don't know no northerners to be like, you know what I'm saying? Now, if they would shoot me stuff, I'll be more than, willing to do a video. I got no problem with it. With the end of hostilities in there, homies, chopping it up, all the big homies, getting along in there. I know people be like, oh, but that's in there, it's not out here in the streets. It's the same shit. If your big homies are doing it, I don't see what the problem is. If you're not taking offense to your big homies doing it, why are you gonna take offense to these people doing it? Those are your maestros, homie. You know what I mean? Those are the people that call the shots that you look up to. And if they're getting along, why not? It's stupid for all the arguments that people want to say out here. So, thanks to all the northern homies that shot me the info, pics, and everything like that. I appreciate it because I know that takes a lot of respect. It's not something easy to do. And I know it's coming out of respect, and I pay it right back. So, I don't want to hear no homies in the comments, dissing and this. My boy, get off the internet. Real gang members do that shit in real life. Go earn a real stripe. Talking shit on the internet gives you no stripes, makes your body look bad, makes you look bad. Ain't nothing gangster about it, homie. I've never seen a big homie be like, hey, you better be dissing your enemigos on the internet. No big homie says that. Let's get off the internet. Just saying, facts. Now, with no further ado, let's get into it.
Coming straight up out the struggle, watch the killer state. It's California, homie, where they need to regulate. Red or blue rag, keep the pistol in the waist. North or south, put the blood, shit, they want to spray. And all the Asian homies even known to pack the K. And all the Pasan guerrilleros known to move the way. And shit gets scandalous how these bodies dropping every day. And all for piling money, homie, I know what a shame. But this is just the way it is, so I stay with the gauge. In case they want it, they can get it, we don't hesitate. I know it's strange on the simple fact you can't relate. In my shoe, like you don't know my pain. I keep it by the G code until my dying day. Cause that's just life up in the hood, out the killer state. It's California, homie, where they know to regulate. It's California, homie, where they know to regulate. I keep it by the G code until my dying day. Cause that's just life up in the hood, out the killer state. It's California, homie, where they know to regulate. It's California.
M.O.D. Entertainment presents
What's good, G-Life? This right here is San Francisco, the Bay. Home to the Giants. Home to, middle-class America. Also, home to a lot of gangs. And even though people have this idea when they think about San Francisco, they think about it being like a suburban area or, full of a lot of white folks or homosexuals. That is... I guess people that have been watching so much movies and TVs, because it gets treacherous in San Francisco, you know what I mean? Even though, the people have this notion of when they think of San Francisco, hey, turning on the wrong street right here, and my boy, and it's a wrap. Because right here, not only is it home to black gangs, Crips, Bloods, also to a lot of Asian neighborhoods, also to white neighborhoods, also home to Sureños. But the ones that, hold it down right here, hands down, this is their terrain, their zone, their dojo, is the norteños. Right here, San Francisco being home battleground, this is one of their strongholds, you know what I mean, in Northern Cali. Even though, like I said, you have a bunch of other different gangs, from Crips, Bloods, Asians, and Sureños. by far the norteños are the dominant presence within this area, which is the barrio San Franz Mission. San Franz Mission is located right here in the Mission Bay, obviously, area. And this neighborhood is the largest Hispanic and gang in general within this area. They have them roughly about 300 members. So even though they don't meet to par as like the size of LA gangs, it's not so jam-packed the Southern California portion of California is, you know what I mean? How it's just overpopulated. Here is not so much, obviously, because you have like a lot of fields and stuff like that. But the San Franz has it on lockdown right here. And they have sub neighborhoods, right? So you have like the 11th Street, which is in the Tenderloin area. You have the 22nd Street Hogs. So that's 22nd Hogs. You also have the 24th Street. 24th Street in Mission is probably the largest one. You know what I mean? The most dominant one. The one that people recognize, when they think about San Franz. You have the Little Time Mission is another one of the sub-clique gangs. When you're talking about the Northerners. You have the local North Sides also right here, which is on 24th and Cap Street is where they're located at. And then you have the town sides. And like I said, you also have, different vitals that they go at it with, because people think, it's all lovely over here. Like, nah, man, there's all kinds of neighborhoods. You have at least more than 42 neighborhoods within the Bay. Because the Sureños are right there. You have the MSers that are on 20th Street. And like I said, the stronghold of the Norteños is on 24th. So they're literally only from 20 to 24. It's not even that far from each other. You know what I mean? So, you get some chaos. Then you have the Sureños that are located on 19th on Dolores Park, which is not even that far in itself either. You know what I mean? And then you have 16th. And then, like I said, you have a lot of Asian neighborhoods. You have a lot of black neighborhoods. You know what I mean? It gets on and cracking right here. It's foolish to think that, that nothing pops over here. Like, where you have these neighborhoods, you're gonna have, gunners. You're gonna have, you're gonna have your hustlers, your drug dealers. You're gonna have shit that goes down. To think that's not true, or it doesn't crack, that's ridiculous. That's ignorance. You know what I mean? Those who really come from the streets already know what it is, because you have the 21st Street Asians, you have the All and Out gang, so the black gang, you have the American born Chinese neighborhood, you have the Asian crazy, you have the Bay Show mob, you have the Devil's Rock, you have the Down Below gangsters, you have the Eddie Street mobsters, you have the Joe Boys, you have the Hobson, you have the Waching. Man, like I said, you just have a lot of neighborhoods within this area. So it cracks, but the Northerners, this is a stronghold. They are the largest. They are the most dominant neighborhood within this area. The San Franz, the 24th Streeters, they get it on and cracking. They've been having, shit on lockdown over here in the Mission, and continue to represent theirs and put theirs on the map. You know what I mean? But that's what's up with the Barrio San Franz Mission right there. This right here is San Jose. San Jose being a very infamous, famous city within Northern California. It is a city where it tends to go down. Due to the fact that, there's several things to do right there. You know what I'm saying? So all the surrounding areas, of course you're going to get, there are people that head down over there, to see what's cracking. And then they get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? San Jose is an area that is, gang infested, full of a lot of, different neighborhoods, Asians to blacks, Sureños to, of course, Norteños. It's a stronghold for Norteños. You have several famous and oldest barrios within this area. You know what I mean? Some of the oldest barrios within this area. Some of the barrios that people recognize and that put it down, homie. You know what I mean? These guys ain't no suckers. You know what I'm saying? Some of the oldest barrios come from this area, and some is a stronghold for northerners, obviously. And one of the neighborhoods that's right here, one of the oldest neighborhoods within this area that people recognize, is the barrio VHS. VHS translating to Barrio Horseshoe Gang. Now, the Horseshoe Gang is located within the west side of San Jose, what's known as the Gardner community is where you can find this barrio. Their territory used to extend all the way to Washington Elementary, but due to the facts of so many, different barrios popping up and shit cracking, now they're on the opposite side of the 87th freeway. Now, it has been said that this barrio originated out of southern califas, from this, terrain out the southeast. Now, what's a trip is that there is a barrio over here in the southeast that's called Barrio Horseshoe, and it's still there, and they are sureños, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's true that it's the same barrio. I mean, I could see a homie moving to Northern Califas and then just, being down with their program and just, starting their neighborhood over there, but as norteños, and just like, I guess, it's one of those things, kind of like different barrios did, like how, Casablanca tended to split into two different barrios. The Pacoima gang split into different barrios. Kind of like, there's several barrios that this has happened to where it used to be one gang and then they split. Grape Street is another one. You know what I mean? So I could see this happening. It wouldn't be, out of the norm or to say, like, no other gang has done this. Several gangs have done this. So yeah, I could see it happening. I could see it going down like that. Nevertheless, though, they established right here in San Jose since the 60s. They've been right here. You know what I mean? Now, they have been said to be more than 200 members. So it is one of the largest gangs within San Jose. And like, I know that the, neighborhoods are not as large as, Southern Califas neighborhoods. Because in Southern Califas, 200 is probably like some of the more smaller gangs. Tiny, if anything, like my barrio is like roughly about 300 members, and we're considered one of the more smaller gangs within the area. So, and those are facts. We're considered very small compared to the rest, and we're at 300. So, although they may not be as large as some of the neighborhoods within over there. Nevertheless, because of how the terrain is set up, hey, that's already a large quality of members. And I don't know about you, but all it really does take is about, one or two members. So having 200 at your disposal is more than enough. You know what I'm saying? And this barrio, right here was treacherous, coming up in the 60s, 70s and all that. You had a lot of norteño gangs that were beefing with each other. Like this gang, Horseshoe, was going at it with the West Side Mob, another norteño gang. Machín, homie. They will concentrate on each other more than they would on sureños. And it's kind of like I tell homies, if you could run up on a northerner or one of your enemigas from down here, you're most likely going to run up on one of your enemigas from down here than a northerner, you know what I mean? Just because the beef there is so real and has been already a generational thing. That's what you guys, just tend to beef it with. Same with them, you know what I mean? The sureños weren't always there, so the beef between them was real. So then when they got there, they were like, well, that's prison shit, we're concentrating on real shit that's down here. So the animosity between those two barrios was real. So they were concentrating on each other, allowing the sureños to establish, you know what I mean? But yeah, the Horseshoe Gang ain't no joke. They've been running it right here. Continue to represent theirs and definitely putting theirs on the map. But that's what's up with the Barrio Horseshoe right there. Now, as we remain right here in San Jose, we'll be covering the next largest neighborhood within this area. If not the largest barrio within this area now, you know what I mean? Even though Horseshoe may be the oldest and at one point was the largest, was known as the Barrio Libre, or is better known to everyone as West Side Mob. was right there. You know what I mean? It was right there. You know, not that far behind, and you know, within time, you know, with a lot of guys from Horseshoe getting busted and everything like that, it allowed West Side Mob to expand. By now, it is probably larger. You know, because they were set roughly almost 200 members, so by now it's about in the 200s, or if not more. Now, the Barrio Libre, or is better known to everyone as West Side Mob, is a notorious barrio that has been right here since the 70s, you know, 80s, early 80s. It is, you know, according to law enforcement, the most active, the most dangerous, the most wild out of all the barrios within this area, at least to law enforcement. You know, they were hit with the gang injunction along with several other neighborhoods right here, because the war between Horseshoe, West Side Mob, Clanton, and SSP was deadly over here. You know what I mean? Shit was cracking off like no tomorrow. You had bodies dropping left to right. My boy, it was treacherous. You know what I mean? It was just as bad as Los Angeles within these barrios. You know, definitely, you know, animosity between them. You know, and the other norteño gang, you know, the Horseshoe. You know, the rivalry is real, homie. You know, even them themselves, you know, stated they would rather go look for each other than sureños. You know, and those are statements made by them. So that lets you know already the animosity right there. You know what I mean? Shit was hectic. You know, it was no joke. That's what I say. This is a game of egos. This is a game of you know, ego, narcissistic individuals. Of course, they're gonna clash when you have two powerhouses in the same room that both claim to be the most chingones. You know, they're not gonna see eye to eye, and you're gonna have tensions, regardless of whatever side, even if they're from the same side. Like I said, there's a lot of egotistic individuals. The West Side Mob is the barrio right here that is known to have, you know, took the life of the most sureños, you know, because at one point they even had they were even green lighted by the northerners, and to take the green light off, you know, they had to go and put it down on us homeboys, and so, you know, they're responsible for, you know, so the West Side Mob was definitely putting in work, and their barrio is located in the Alma community is where this barrio is located at. That's where you can find the West Side Mob. And this barrio has subsets throughout San Jose. You know, like you have the San Carlos mob, you have the Barrio Libre mob, you have the Eastbound mob. You know, just to name a few of those. You know, like I said, going at it with the Horseshoe and several other barrios within the area. That shit was no joke, you know what I mean? They were going at it machine with Clanton too when they were established right there. It was hectic, homie. But yeah, this is one of the most notorious neighborhoods, you know, stated by law enforcement. Active, wild, just don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? But that's what's up with the West Side Mob, holding it down right here for San Jose.